Well, good morning. Welcome to our solo walk for April 21st. Just thought we'd take a little walk around the yard and that. So we have a chat this morning. There's no political solution to a spiritual problem. That's a little quote a buddy of mine gave me a couple 3 months when we were chatting and that, and that's what he come up with. And as we're coming up to, we're what, a week away from an election here up here in Canada, eh? And that, and it just got me. I was thinking about that this morning, about there not being a political solution to a spiritual problem. And I see everybody, talking about this one's going to fix this or this one's going to do that or whatever on the political side. And, they rightfully they may. But I've been, I guess over 50 years I've been eligible to vote. And that, and the whole time I've been in that position, I've watched and looked around, and yeah, you can blame the Liberals for the last 10 years because that's who's been in power, and things have been going for a shit that length of time, and there's no doubt there, and that, but. If you look at the last 50 years that I've been around watching it, and that, and you see the people with the elbows up in the Canada flags now, and we got to pull together and bring Canada into the finances and stuff and everything, and make us more self-sustainable. Well, I've said for the 50 years, we're sitting. As a country, as Canada, we're sitting in a country with a hand of 5 aces, and we've been continually getting beat by a pair of deuces. And that's been, doesn't matter which party you've been in. It's a continuum of government, and that there doesn't matter which party's in. We're in the same position. And we're going just heading back towards the deck because it's decided to start raining out here, and I don't want to be just a puddle of sugar walking around sitting in the middle of the yard here. But yeah, it's just been a continuum of government, and that I've 30 years ago I knew a young lad that ran for a member of parliament and got in, and was a very genuine young man and wanted to do many great things. And as I said to him, when he was going and that, I says, don't, I could see what the bureaucracy was like even back then. And I'd said to him, don't plan on making any great changes because, the system is such, and the bureaucracy is such that no matter what you do, or want to do, you can't, and I still pretty much stand by that. I can't see where any one politician is going to make a great deal of difference, but they just may, and that'd be great. And with no, I would be happy to see that. But I see a lot of people putting their faith in one man, either side, doesn't matter, and thinking that they're going to fix it, and they won't. Well, in my viewpoint, they won't. And that it's, and I'm not saying to vote or not to vote or which party to vote for. that's up to you. That's your choice, and we've said that. I've said that so many times, and it is your choice. So you make that choice of who you're going to vote for. But remember, it's not the politics that's going to change it. It's you that's going to change it. You're the impetus for change, and not some politician. And it doesn't matter what your religious views are, or your spiritual views are, and that, but it is a spiritual issue. You know, I see people putting all their hope and giving their autonomy to a political party or a system, and the system is such that it's just to keep you downtrodden, keep you under the thumb. Yeah, one party may be better than the other, and I have my views on which one would be better, but that's up to you to make up your mind. I think if you can read between the lines, you can probably tell which one I think would be better. But again, you make up your mind. But remember, the real change comes from within. You have to come to the point, we have to come to the point where we realize that we are the ones that are in power, and that we are the ones to make the change, and that the change starts with me, starts from within. And if you don't make a change within, nothing's going to change outside. And so I don't know if this is making any sense, but for me, it just stirs in me a feeling that for people that are counting on the government to change things for them, they're not going to. They may change some things and that, and just don't count on them. Count on yourself. Count on our humanity. You know, I see people giving up their divinity, giving up their reasoning even to follow a party, to, you know, because I don't like this guy or that guy, or this guy's bad, or what big one we see now here in Canada is Trump syndrome, I guess you'd call it, or whatever. Like, oh, orange man bad, we gotta do. He wasn't the one that killed our country, and he wasn't the one that killed our economies. He wasn't the one that killed our industries. That's been going on for 50 years. I can remember when I was 16 years old and went out on my own, I could get a job, quit one today and get another one tomorrow. I could afford an apartment. I could afford groceries. I could afford a car. I could go to the drive-in once in a while. I could get a box of beer. I could buy a carton of smokes. And, you know, I didn't have a lot left over, but there was, you could do that. I could go get an apartment, rent a place, and when things changed and you wanted to get another spot, there was always one available. And you could afford it. I could afford groceries, all that stuff. Everything was affordable, you know. And it's just been a steady downward spiral since then, really. If you stand back and take a look and look in the look at it from above instead of just on the ground level, you can see where it's been a steady going down. And that, so don't be thinking as you're going into this election, into this vote, that it's one of them's going to fix it, because they've had opportunity to fix it for the 50 years I've been able to participate in it. And that, and all I've ever seen is waste from them, and pandering to special interest groups, and bailing out corporations, and raising taxes and that. So, you know, make a wise choice when you choose, whichever way you go. Whether you vote, don't vote, whether you go, which party you go with. Don't vote emotionally, and that. Take a bit of time to think about their policies and who the people are that you're voting for. You know, there's a few of the politicians around the world. Me and my wife were talking, and I said there's about 3 or 4 that I've seen that I would actually be able to sit down and have a coffee with and a chat. And the rest of the ones that I've seen, all these globalist idiots and that I've seen around, you couldn't sit down and have a coffee with them and a chat, because it's all part of their rhetoric, their script. They couldn't have a conversation with anybody. It's all got to be politispeak. So, yeah, you, like I said, I hope I'm making a little bit of sense. I'm kind of rambling here, but it's just actually concerning to me that people are so willing to give up their autonomy, their divinity, you know, their humanity, and their responsibility for themselves to a government, to another man. No man has any power over you. No government has any power over you. And by man, I mean man or woman. It doesn't matter. All this bullshit about... You know what I'm talking about. But anyway. So, I guess just to wrap it up, and that, make a wise choice. And that'd be the last thing I say about politics. It's really not about politics, what I'm talking about. It's more about your own being, your own humanness, your own spiritualness. And like I said, that's nothing to do with your religion or what you believe. It's with who you are. Know who you are. Take the time. Like I've said before, sit down in the mornings, give yourself some quiet time. Listen to your heart, listen to your spirit. And know that you are a whole lot more than what this system has been telling you, what this program that you're under is telling you, that the box you're in is saying. And it's time to climb out of those boxes. Time to take down the walls. Time to realize who you really are, what power you really carry, and take the responsibility for yourself. Anyway, I guess I'll just leave it there. Hope I made a little bit of sense to you. Know that you're loved. Reach out, give your loved ones a hug. Tell them that they're loved. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself you got this. You have a great day. Make wise choices. We love you. Have a good one. We'll talk at you later. Bye-bye.